Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline for Pixie Dust PhD. We are in the home stretch of the Disney Vacation Club home resorts located at Walt Disney World Fast Facts series. Today we'll be going over all of your basic need-to-know information about the villas at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort. If you find this content helpful, please hit that thumbs up button to like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Ring the bell icon for notifications for whenever I post new videos. Also, be sure to check out all of the other videos in my Disney Vacation Club Home Resort Fast Facts series. I'll leave a link in the description below, or you can click the card here. If you're looking to stay at a villa at the Grand Floridian in an upcoming trip on rented points, the cash rate, or even better, you're considering making this your home resort, this video should contain a lot of helpful information. I've got your rundown on pertinent topics like cost, dining, recreation, and more. Stay tuned. The villas at the Grand Floridian are not a standalone Disney Vacation Club resort, rather they are part of the existing Grand Floridian Resort. The Grand Floridian is themed to a Victorian-style seaside resort and exudes posh elegance and sophistication. There's a lot of warm, neutral tones throughout the resort with pops of muted, sophisticated colors like greens. Although this is not a standalone DVC resort and you do share most of your amenities with the general Grand Floridian Resort, the DVC portion is located in its own building and it does have its own lobby. While the DVC lobby is less grand and imposing than that main lobby, you do still get incredible chandeliers in the same vein as the main lobby. There's also a really lovely fountain themed to Mary Poppins. If desired, you can check in at the DVC lobby, and throughout most of the hours of the day there are dedicated bell services located in the DVC building. The DVC portion of the Grand Floridian Resort opened in 2013. If you're looking to make this your home resort, cost is likely a huge consideration. The initial purchase price for the Grand Floridian is extremely high. Currently, directly from Disney, it will cost you $255 per point. Over on the resale market, your average initial purchase price will run between $160 and $170 per point. Of course, if you're lucky, you can occasionally find great deals on the resale market for Grand Floridian contracts. But generally speaking, the initial purchase price of the Grand Floridian is the highest of all those located at Walt Disney World. The Grand Californian over at Disneyland will cost you more for the initial purchase, but otherwise, next up is the Grand Floridian. This will absolutely be a large initial purchase. Reasonably so, that initial purchase price scares a lot of potential buyers off. But if you can get over that massive initial investment, there is good news in the long run. The annual dues at the Grand Floridian are actually quite low. In fact, for the past 3 years, annual dues at the Grand Floridian have been the lowest of all of the home resorts located at Walt Disney World. In 2021, annual dues are about $6.81 per point. This is around $1.50 less than the highest annual dues in 2021, which are over at the Riviera at $8.38 per point. In 2021, there are actually only 2 Walt Disney World DVC home resorts with annual dues less than $7 per point, and Grand Floridian is one of those. In general, your Grand Floridian annual dues cost is actually quite modest. That initial purchase price is huge, don't get me wrong, but your annual dues really do add up over time. Meaning, having a contract with annual dues, and currently those Grand Floridian dues are the lowest located at Walt Disney World, is quite advantageous. However, the number of points required to book a stay at the Grand Floridian is actually very high. In fact, it's often the highest located on Walt Disney World property, excluding those specialty type rooms like the Bora Bora bungalows. For the 2022 points chart, the lowest amount of points you'll spend for a single night at the Grand Floridian is going to be 16. And this is 16 points to stay in a standard view studio during the absolute lowest DVC season. In comparison, you'll find several other home resorts that offer a similar standard view studio during that same season for only 9 or 10 points. That may not sound like a huge difference when we're talking about a nightly rate, but when you're considering a full week stay, it can be quite a big deal. The lowest amount of points you'll need to be able to stay for 1 week at the Grand Floridian is 120, whereas over at the Boardwalk, for example, it's only 71. And this general trend holds true for all villa sizes. Another stark example is in the Grand Villa 3-bedroom category. Now, arguably, staying at a Grand Villa at the Grand Floridian really is an event, and you may not be looking at that with a discerning eye in terms of value, but just stay with me. For a week in a Grand Villa at the Grand Floridian, you'll always be spending at least over 800 points, and you can spend up to just a little over 1,400 points. In comparison, over at Old Key West, a 1-week stay in a Grand Villa will cost between 342 and 624 points, depending on the DVC season. But I recognize many of you are not looking to book Grand Villas, so let's do one last example of 1-bedrooms. A standard view 1-bedroom in the 4th most expensive DVC season, which is right smack dab in the middle of all those DVC seasons, at the Grand Floridian will run you 42 points for a weeknight. In comparison, during that same season, a 1-bedroom over at the Beach Club will run you 35 points for a single weeknight. Interestingly though, if we stay in that same DVC season, a 2-bedroom at the Beach Club will be 45 points for a weeknight, so that's only 3 points more to get a 2-bedroom at the Beach Club as compared to a 1-bedroom at the Grand Floridian. Even more eye-opening is that 2-bedroom at the Beach Club will be 48 points for a weekend night stay rather than a single weeknight stay. Whereas a 1-bedroom at the Grand Floridian will run you 49 points for a weekend night stay. It will actually cost you 1 more vacation point to stay at the Grand Floridian on a weekend night in a 1-bedroom than it would to stay in a 2-bedroom on a weekend night over at the Beach Club. And at least in my opinion, the Beach Club is a highly desirable resort that's often booked up. I believe Beach Club is a much more fair comparator to Grand Floridian than, say, Old Key West. Overall, there's just really no getting around it. You need a ton of points to stay at the Grand Floridian. Those Grand Floridian contracts do not expire until 2064 though, so you will have plenty of years to make great use of your investment. Giving an overall estimate of cost for the Grand Floridian is a bit difficult because it really depends on what matters the most to you. When you consider cost of a Disney Vacation Club home resort, what do you weigh the most? Your initial purchase price, the points you need to stay, or the annual dues? If you're primarily concerned about your initial purchase price or the number of points you need to stay for an entire week, then Grand Floridian is incredibly expensive and probably your most expensive option located at Walt Disney World. However, if you're more concerned about the long-term costs and those annual dues you have to pay up every year, then Grand Floridian might be a great option for you as the dues traditionally are very low. Ultimately, the cost of a Disney Vacation Club home resort contract is a combination of all these factors. Despite those cheap annual dues, anecdotally, I think it's easy to say that the Grand Floridian is definitely more on the expensive side. As I briefly previously mentioned, the villas are contained in their own building. The villas building and the main resort are connected by a covered walkway, but that walkway is not fully enclosed. I'm not sure what the exact length of the walkway is, but it's probably around 1/10 of a mile. It really is a very quick walk between your villas building and the main resort. The total inventory for the villas at the Grand Floridian is only up to 147 resorts, and if all of those lock-offs are being booked up as 2 bedrooms, it's actually as low as 100 rooms total. There are no dedicated studios at the Grand Floridian. Instead, if you book a studio, you'll be pulling from an inventory of 47 lock-offs. Studios sleep up to 5 people with 1 proper bed, 1 sofa bed, and 1 single pull-down bed, and come in at around 374 square feet. Similarly, there are no dedicated 1-bedrooms, and again, you'll be pulling from those 47 lock-offs for inventory. 1-bedrooms sleep up to 5 people with similar sleeping accommodations to that of the studio and come in around 844 square feet. There are 47 dedicated 2-bedrooms as well as those 47 lock-offs that can also be booked as 2-bedrooms. Dedicated 2-bedrooms are around 1,232 square feet and can accommodate 9 people with 3 proper beds, a sleeper sofa, and 1 single pull-down. The lock-off 2-bedrooms can actually accommodate up to 10 people as they are a combination of those studios and 1-bedrooms, which results in 2 proper beds, 2 sleeper sofas, and 2 of those single pull-downs. The points cost for the lock-off 2-bedrooms and the dedicated 2-bedrooms is the same. Finally, there are those 3-bedroom Granville accommodations that are about 2,800 square feet and sleep up to 12 people with 5 proper beds and 1 sleeper sofa. Overall, all of the villas at the Grand Floridian are actually fairly generously sized and will be one of the larger accommodations for any of the villa categories compared to other home resorts at Walt Disney World. There are 2 view categories for these villas, Standard View and Lake View, although note that all 6 of those grand villas are actually Lake View. The way the building is situated, there are lots of different view options. Of course, Lake View means you'll be able to see Seven Seas Lagoon. Otherwise, you may catch views of the wedding pavilion, the beaches pool, the Census Spa, of course, parking lots and little roads, as well as general landscaping. Rooms ending in 14, 16, and 18 are all Lakeview rooms with slight views of the Magic Kingdom. You'll definitely be able to see Spaceship Earth, and you will be able to catch partial views of Cinderella Castle. This also means these rooms are pretty great for fireworks viewing. For the most part, west-facing rooms, so even-numbered rooms ending in 2 through 12, face Seven Seas Lagoon, and you'll be able to catch good views of the electrical water pageant at night. All rooms are decorated fairly lavishly to fit within that Grand Floridian theme. Rooms feature tray ceilings, detailed tile work, and interestingly, there is a TV in your bathroom mirror. Studios do only have 1 bedside table, which is situated between the bed and the sleeper sofa. But the bathrooms at these villas are pretty awesome. In the studios, your bathroom will feature a standard shower and tub combo as well as a really nice walk-in shower. And all of these things have pretty decent counter space and some storage below. If you're staying in a studio and want access to laundry, the laundry room is on the 4th floor of that villa's building, so you won't have to schlep your stuff all the way to the main building. 1-bedrooms feature more bedside tables for both the proper bed as well as that pull-out sleeper sofa. What I consider to be a very nice touch in these 1-bedroom bathrooms is there is a freestanding jetted tub along with your walk-in shower. 1-bedrooms also have 2 bathroom sinks. So bathroom-wise, it means you get 2 of almost everything in the 1-bedrooms, except of course there is only 1 toilet. And both studios and 1-bedrooms feature a pocket door somewhere in your bathroom area to allow for separation, that way multiple people can be getting ready at once. In my opinion, there's no real major room quirks to note about the 2 bedrooms other than the fact that the lock-offs and the dedicateds can sleep a different number of people, which we've already touched on. For those magnificent grand villas, you do actually get 4 toilets and truly so much space. As with most grand villas though, your common areas and that huge balcony are probably the star. For free Disney transportation, you will have to go to the main building. The DVC Villas building does not have its own bus stop. To get to the Magic Kingdom, you can take the monorail, you can take a boat, or you can now walk. The walkway connecting the Magic Kingdom and the Grand Floridian is a pretty new addition, and it's not something I've yet been able to walk myself. I have seen reports that it'll take between 15 and 20 minutes to get from your hotel to the Magic Kingdom or vice versa by walking on this pathway. To get to Epcot, you'll take the monorail, and to get to Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom, you will be taking a bus. If you've got a car, you'll be parking in a lot outside the Villas building. There is a separate small parking lot outside that Villas building, so you shouldn't have to park in the main lot, which is a really nice touch. For recreation, your primary pool is the grotto-themed beach pool, which overlooks Seven Seas Lagoon. This pool is over 111,000 gallons, features 0 entry, and a 181-foot long water slide. There's also a cute water play area for kids themed to Alice in Wonderland. The second pool is the Courtyard Pool, which is essentially your quiet pool of the resort. The Courtyard Pool also has 0 entry and features a whirlpool. Other recreation includes Senses, the full-service spa, beauty salon, arcade, jogging path, campfire, fitness center, watercraft rentals, and more. The Grand Floridian also has actual shopping as well at the resort. While this isn't a mall, it's not super extensive, there are a lot of specialty shops at the Grand Floridian that make this a really unique experience compared to other resorts at Walt Disney World. For dining, you have a bevy of options located at the resort, but none are in the Villas building itself. Sandy Cove is the marketplace where you'll be able to buy small groceries, sundries, apparel, and more. Both pools have a pool bar. You've got the Beaches Pool Bar and Grill, as well as the Courtyard Pool Bar. Naturally, these are quick service options that offer loads of different types of drinks, as well as some pool-type food, things like sliders, sandwiches, salads, and more. Gasparilla Island Grill is the main quick service option for the resort and is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is also your primary location for refilling those refillable mugs. Usually, Gasparilla Island Grill has pretty standard offerings, things like Mickey waffles, breakfast platters for breakfast, and then pizzas, sandwiches, salads, things like that for lunch and dinner. They do occasionally have chef specialties though, so keep your eye on the menu. The Grand Floridian Cafe is a table service meal, but it's a more casual option compared to some of the others located at the resort. They serve fun twists on American classics for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Garden View Tea Room is a really unique offering that, of course, focuses on tea service. 1900 Park Fare is an all-you-care-to-eat character dining experience located at the resort. Breakfast often features friends like Mary Poppins, Alice, and the Mad Hatter. Dinner at 1900 Park Fare is a unique offering for princess fans, as you'll get to see Cinderella and her friends, typically including Prince Charming and her evil stepsisters. Then we've got some more upscale options. Narcoossee's and Citricos are both table service fine dining options that are open for dinner at the Grand Floridian. Narcoossee's focuses more on coastal cuisine, so it's really great for seafood lovers, and Citricos is Mediterranean inspired. Citricos also has an attached lounge if you don't want to commit to an advanced dining reservation. Your other lounge option at the resort is the Enchanted Rose, which features a bevy of really fun themed specialty cocktails as well as some small food bites. Finally, there's Victoria and Albert's, which is truly a fine dining experience. This table service meal is a tasting menu and it really is an event. There's a fairly strict dress code, so no jeans allowed, and no guests under 10 years old are permitted either. If you'd like to experience truly fine dining while on your Walt Disney World vacation, Victoria and Albert's may be a great stop for you. That's all of your basic need-to-know information about the villas at the Grand Floridian. Let me know what you think about these villas in the comments down below. Or you can always find me on other social media like Twitter and Instagram at PixieDustPhD. The cost of making this your home resort is super high, but in my opinion, since the inventory is extremely limited, only up to 147 rooms at any given time, if you are dead set on staying here, you may seriously consider making this your home resort. Disney Vacation Club seemingly gets more and more popular every year, which means you have more folks fighting to snag limited inventory at that 7-month booking window. If you don't mind doing split stays and are pretty flexible, you absolutely are able to find random 1 or 2 nights here or there at the Grand Floridian. But if you really want to experience a week-long stay and you want to stay put and you want that to be at the Grand Floridian, I would highly suggest you consider making this your home resort. Of course, there's always a myriad of very personal factors that go into making your home resort decision, but I hope this video helped you a little bit. May the rest of your day be magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.